Good evening. We got a lot of good things to say today, and the Wi Fi is acting up. Are we back? Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three. All right, we are back. You know what? Get thee behind me, Satan. We got a lot of good information that we have to disseminate today, and we're going to get this done. We are here tonight, and I got so much going on in my head. So let me woosah. I am a Tanya Jean Funny, your audacious advocate, and I use my love of learning and passion for community engagement to empower families. Listen, Clayton County, last week when I was on, I told you all that it is election season. Now, there's some information that I need to share with you all that I did not have. And that information is that we need all, let me repeat that. We need all registered voters to go to the poll, because even if you do not have a human that you are voting for, so that means maybe you live in unincorporated and you're not voting for mayor or council people, there is a referendum on the ballot for all of Clayton County. It is an ad valorem tax, a Freeport tax for warehouse businesses. They currently have a 100% exemption, and we want to reduce it to 80 so we can collect 20% taxes for them from them. It is 4 questions, and I need you all to go and vote yes, 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 yes. Now, let me tell you why it's so important. At the beginning of early voting, many people did not know about this referendum, but they went to vote for their mayor or their city council person. And since they didn't understand the referendum, they voted no. We have to balance out those early no's with some yeses, because we need this referendum to pass, please. Okay, this is tax dollars for our county. So please go and vote for this referendum if you have not already gone to vote. And today we also had a comprehensive planning meeting for our county. I will be talking more about that later. There are future meetings. And for all of you that say they don't want to hear from us, yes, they do. Okay. We are going to steer the direction of our county together. And as your candidate for county commissioner, May 2024, I want to hear from you. So let's all join together and look out for those comprehensive planning meetings. There are more coming up. All right, got the announcements out of the way, and I think the Wi Fi has settled in now. And I am so honored to have my guest on today. It is October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And my dear friend from Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University is on with me tonight to share her journey. Let me tell you, when we put ourselves out there, it is not easy. A lot of people go through things and they don't want anybody to know about it. But I believe, and Miss Sherrie believes, that when we share our stories, we are empowering other people. So you know you're not going through this alone. And also so that you may have words of wisdom to help you through your journey or your family's journey. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on the lovely Miss Sherrie Charles to the stage. Hello, madam.
Hello, how are you to this evening?
I'm well. I'm well. I'm loving that orange and green. I got on pink for you, and you got on orange and green for the both of us.
Yes,
It is homecoming week. Can imagine all the fun that is being had and that will be had.
absolutely.
Are you headed down?
Headed down in the morning.
Oh, you stayed around to do the show, and you're gonna celebrate for me, okay?
I definitely will.
I'll be knocking on doors campaigning, so have fun for me. So Sherrie, you was just living your life, living your best life. And then I saw on Facebook and I'm like, oh my Lord. Walk us
Yes.
through the journey. Like, you just got to tell me from beginning to end. So what is going on? What happened?
Okay, so for several years, I had been posting on or around the 11th of each month to get mammograms and do self checks. And, I would say it's buddy check day and put up the little funny memes, check your tatas, check on the girls, all of those things. And it was last year. I thought I was preparing mentally and physically to turn 50
Mm-hmm.
when I was working out and eating right and,
You were.
looking
I
good.
remember that. You was
Yeah,
like, you were on a mission. I remember it. Yep.
right. And so right before I went to get my mammogram, I told one of my friends that I needed to get my mammogram, but I would wait until after vacation. And my friend said, no, if it's time for your mammogram, you need to get it now. I said, okay, well, I'll go get it since you insist. I went and they told me that I needed to come back to get a diagnostic exam and possibly an ultrasound. So I get a 3D mammogram every year. I started getting mammograms at 40
Mm-hmm.
because my maternal grandmother had breast and colon cancer. So
Okay.
I'm considered high risk because of that. So I started getting mammograms at 40. So I've been doing them regularly, and I think I skipped maybe 2019, no, 2020. I skipped 2020 because of COVID, and then went back to doing my regular mammograms. But I tried to get in to get the diagnostic prior to my vacation, and
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have anything. So I did it. I did it right after I got back. I didn't tell anyone while I was on vacation. I didn't want to ruin it for any of my friends who accompanied me. I told my mom, my aunt, and my son. And
Mm-hmm.
so after everything was over, I told some other people about having to go back. But when I went back, they did end up doing the ultrasound, and they said they found something and they needed to do a biopsy. Went for the biopsy on October 6th at 8 o'clock a.m. Those numbers will forever stick in my head. And they said, someone will call you to give you your results. You should hear, this was on a Wednesday. They said you should hear something by Friday, no later than Monday. Thursday, the next day, around 1 p.m., I got a call that I needed to come in to my doctor's office for my results. And it was at that moment that I knew.
Yeah, that's never good when they tell you got to come in.
Right. So I knew at that moment that it was, what it was. So I called my mom first and told her I needed her to meet me at the doctor's office. And when I told her my nerves were bad, she was like, okay, I'm going to come over there and I'll just drive you to the doctor.
Yeah.
Then I called my aunt who works in the medical field. She was like, oh, sometimes we'll just call you in, just to make sure, I knew that was fluff because she was trying to comfort me. And then I
Yeah.
called my best friend who totally fell apart, had an anxiety attack on the phone, and we both were just hysterical. By
Yeah.
the time my mom got to my place, I had calmed down. We went, got in the room, and the doctor walked in and she introduced, well, it was the PA, because actually my doctor had left the practice. So I got it from the nurse practitioner. And so she introduced herself and she said, "It's cancer." And she just paused. I paused. It was like the whole world stopped. I didn't want to look over my shoulder because I knew my mom was sitting like right behind me. I was trying to be strong, and then the emotions came.
Yeah.
It is a heart-stopping feeling to hear the words, "It's cancer," especially as it relates to you. We can say how we would respond or how we think we would act. Oh, if it were me, I would this, I would that. You don't know until you actually go through it. So fast forward, they gave me a referral to a surgeon. I called the surgeon, couldn't get in with that surgeon. I called my gynecologist and asked her if she knew of anyone. She gave me the information. I went to that surgeon, and that was a godsend. She was phenomenal from beginning, even up until now.
Okay.
And she walked in the room, and the thing she said was, "Hey, girl, you're going to be just fine. We're going to beat this." And that's what you
Awesome.
need to hear. And that's who you need in your corner, from
Okay.
your physician to the people you have around you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And so
Absolutely.
after she gave me some information, gave me a radiation doctor and a medical oncologist. So I had three doctors at the time. I had my uh, oncology surgeon, radiation oncologist, and a medical oncologist. So those were the three responsible for my care. At my next visit with the surgeon, I found out it was stage 1,
Okay.
and it was lobular, and I can never remember the other, but it was invasive, which means it had the potential to spread. But I did a gene test. I was not positive because not only did my maternal grandmother have breast cancer, 2 of her sisters had breast cancer, 2 of my dad's aunts had breast cancer.
Oh,
My dad had prostate cancer, and one of my mom's sisters had pancreatic cancer. So cancer, if you will, ran in the family. And I say ran because as of me, it runs no more. So
yeah.
that is a generational curse that we are going to cut, that has been cut
Yes.
as of now.
And Sherrie, that's what I was just about to say to you, because I know you are a woman of faith, and talk about how your faith helped to get you through, and even for you to make that bold statement that you just made right now, because I know that that was a big deal, um, going through this.
Yes, it was definitely a big deal. And I was on a live a couple nights ago speaking about my journey.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I will always say is I never doubted that God would fail me. I never doubted that I would make it through. But the one thing I kept saying to God is, "God, don't you let me die. Don't you let me die. This is not how this is going to end. There
Yes.
are too many things that I have to do,
Still left to do.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, I mean, and that it was a real thing. I couldn't say it in front of anybody. This was in my time with God where I had to say, "God, don't you let me die. Not now, not here. This is not how
Mhm.
it's going out." And so I just kept the faith that God would see me through. And even now, and the reason I can be so bold about it is because one of my friends, when I messaged her that I had the diagnosis, she said, "I'm going to help you through this. You're going to let me help you." And I was about to say, she said, with your stubborn self. And I was
Yes.
about to respond and say, I'm not stubborn. And the Holy Spirit stopped me and said, this is the answer. You have to be vulnerable. You're
Mm.
going through this is to help someone else. So when I just shared the story for people to come in tonight, I put on there saving lives one conversation at a time.
Yes, absolutely.
Because as much as I can spread this news and tell people and help people to see the importance of getting mammograms and doing your self checks, I'm going to say it until I can't say it anymore. Because the one thing I do know is that when I went for my annual exam, my gynecologist did not feel anything. In my self exam, I didn't feel anything. It was only through the mammogram. Now,
Okay.
what I have found is sometimes the mammograms won't pick it up, but you know your body. When you're in tune with your body and you feel like something is not right, you have to advocate for yourself. And you have
Yes.
to say, listen, this is not right. I know something's wrong. Test me for this, test me for that. And don't be afraid to say, test me for cancer. Don't be afraid to say
Okay.
it. It doesn't mean that you're declaring cancer over yourself or anything of that nature. You just need to be sure that nothing is growing inside of your body that should not be there.
Hmm. That's really good because I can confess that I'm usually one to go get my annual checkups every year. And during COVID, we kind of all just
Mhm.
laid back because we were just sitting up in the house. And then it's like, and I know to this day there are some people that haven't picked up going back to the doctor.
Right.
And I saw one of your posts and you were like, go get your checkup. And I'm like, you know what? Let me make that phone call and get, schedule all my checkups and things like that. So, I want you to know that your words are coming through, even through social media, because you did get me to like, okay, Tanya, get back in that routine to go take care of yourself and everything. So, what I wanted to ask you, so from that first diagnosis and you have your physicians that are going to assist you, what happens after that?
So I had surgery last November. So I got the diagnosis in October. I had surgery. The the cancer cells were removed. However, I still had to have radiation. Thank God I did not have to have chemotherapy, but I had
Okay.
radiation because if there were any cells lingering anywhere that they could not see, the radiation was to target that. So I went through 4 weeks, Monday through Friday, of radiation. So 20
So
rounds
every day?
every day, Monday through Friday, radiation.
Wow.
The actual time on the table was about 15 minutes, but
Okay.
go in there, getting undressed, going, getting the exam. And then on days when I had to see the physician, those were longer days. So
Okay.
it was a journey. Some people say, oh, that was quick. If you're not going through it, yeah, it seems
Listen.
quick. But the one thing I can also say is it's a life altering thing
Okay.
because I still have doctor's appointments. I had some lymph nodes removed, and because of that, I have swelling in my right arm, which is the side I had the cancer on. And so had the lymph nodes removed. I have swelling, which is lymphedema. So I go to lymphedema therapy to get the fluid back
Fluid.
moving through like it should.
Hmm.
Um, and I take a medication. There's a medication that I have to take every day for the next 5 years.
Five
And
years.
5 years for the next five
Wow.
years. And I will get mammograms every 6 months,
Okay.
as well as infusions for bone health. Because the medication that I have to take for 5 years, and because I'm menopausal,
Hmm.
50 and 51 has really done its thing. So
Yes.
and so bones tend to decrease after menopause, and so I have to do the I have to do uh, the therapy, the infusions for every 6 months as well,
Okay.
for as long as I'm taking the medication.
I feel like even though you couldn't put your finger on it, I feel like maybe you kind of prepped your body. You thought you were getting ready for your 50th celebration, but I think in a way you may have been just prepping your body for this fight that it was going to have to endure, because you were working out. You was doing that thing.
Absolutely. And like I said, God has a way of preparing us for things that we don't even know we're
Even
being
know about.
prepared for.
Yes.
And one of my dear friends, he said to me, he said, "You were being prepared for this and you didn't even know it." Because
Yes.
I mean, my diet was on point. My son and my mom and my family, they would be like, "What are you eating?" "I'm having fruit and I would have like fruit and boiled eggs for breakfast, and for lunch or dinner I would have salad and a protein." "You're only going to eat that?" And some days I was like, "Oh, this is my water day. I'm eating water-based things. So I'm eating watermelon and cantaloupe." And they were like, "Oh my gosh, you eat watermelon every day?" "Yep. And it's helping." So, and my
Yeah.
water intake, everything was up to par. But after you get that diagnosis, mentally it does something to you. And
Hmm.
so I really believe that I went through a mild depression
Okay.
because of, just hearing that it was cancer.
Yeah.
So my eating regimen is still not where it needs to be now, just
Okay.
because of everything. So from the medicine to not having the energy level to work out like I want to, I've picked up from last year to this year, it's like 10 to 12 pounds that I've put on.
Hmm.
And I feel it, so there is something that I know that there is work to be done. And I pray for, um, I pray for the stamina to be able to get back to that, because I was walking 3 or 4 days a week
Yeah.
and 3 to 4 miles a day, when I was walking.
Oh,
So
that's good. That's
yeah.
Look, I got through 2 and I was like, woohoo. You were doing 3 to 4 miles. Oh my goodness. But I want
Yes.
you to not be, too hard on yourself, because a survivor is a survivor.
Right.
Um, yeah. So
And
you have like so much to share.
right. And one of the things, Tanya, that I do want to say is, during the process of radiation,
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend who was going through radiation at the same time, and she had second-degree burns under her arm where the radiation was. And it was so heartbreaking. And I just kept saying, God, please don't let me burn. Don't let my skin break. I had key people, that was the prayer. No, for no
Hmm.
skin breaks. And I am grateful to God that I did not have the skin breaks. I did have some burning, but it wasn't to that degree.
Extent.
And
Hmm.
my radiation doctor was phenomenal, because from the beginning, he said, your skin is good. You have, good skin and it's moist, and I can tell you take care of your skin. So I need you to follow this moisturizing regimen.
Okay.
And when I tell you, it was like my arm was slip and slide, because I was putting all of the ointments and aloe vera creams and gels and,
Kind of
all of
all the stuff we did to our bellies when we were carrying those babies. We're like, Lord,
right,
no stretch
right.
marks, no stretch marks.
Right.
But
So, and again, and it was a time where, because I'm transparent, because I'm candid, I couldn't wear bras. I couldn't
mhm.
wear a bra. And, I felt like everybody just knew that I wasn't wearing a bra. And, then some people were like, we can't tell anything,
Yeah,
so that was
yeah.
comforting. But, just that whole ordeal of going through the antagonizing, just thinking, what if my skin breaks and I have this burn under my arm,
Yeah.
how uncomfortable. And I know that it was uncomfortable for her.
Yeah. But one of the things that I keep hearing as you speak is that you continue to say, and we're taught that our words have power. And
Absolutely.
I feel like as you went through your journey, you let those words have power, and you were like, Lord, I'm going to survive. Lord,
Mhm.
please take care of my skin. Lord, we're going to get through this. And I believe you. We say, Lord, this generational curse is now broke. It's going to stop with me, because we have to understand that the words that we say, they mean something. I
Absolutely.
was thinking one day, about my kids. My kids are still small, and they're not small, but they're school age. And I told them that they were going to get tennis scholarships, and it was like, ever since I said that, and it I have to drag them off the court, like literally, like even tonight I was like, come on, I gotta go, I gotta get on live. And it dawned on me that they believe what we tell them.
Absolutely.
They believe it. Whatever you tell them, whatever you say, they believe it. And I feel you did the same thing. You pretty much was like, all right, God, show yourself right here.
Absolutely. And I've always been big on words. All of my close friends and even acquaintances, they know that my best friend, I correct her all the time. Don't say that. She was like, I'm just playing. I said, but you can't just play with words, because once you
I
put
say
it
the
out in the
same thing.
atmosphere, it's there. So
Yep.
I'm really big on what I say and how I say it, because the one thing that I tried not to say, and I would correct people when they did, I did not say I had cancer. I
Hmm.
said I received a diagnosis.
That's right.
The diagnosis, the diagnosis of cancer, because I was not laying claim on cancer at all.
That's right.
That's not what I wanted. That's not what I accepted. So I did not say I had cancer. It was a cancer diagnosis that I received. And I
Yes.
knew that I was going to beat it, and I did, because of God. Thank you, Jesus.
That's right. Barney wanted to, oh, we got a whole bunch of comments. Let's go through these. So Barney wanted to know, did you have, if your skin had broken out, or did you have, if you had those breaks, would you have had to stop treatment?
No, I would have still had to have
Woo.
treatment, even with the skin breakage.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So um Miss Charles Luvinia,
Yes. That's my mom.
that's your mama. She said hallelujah. Donna said, hello, my sisters. Hi, Donna. You will
Hey.
always be Madam President to me.
Yes.
And yeah, Barney was also saying that we do need to advocate for ourselves.
Yes.
Um, and I think that's one of the things we need to do more. If something don't feel right, if you don't like the type of treatment that you are receiving from a particular doctor or a particular hospital, find a new one.
Right.
You know.
And that is something that I actually had to do, because the
Okay.
first oncologist that I had did not have bedside manner. If it was not for her PA, I would have left after the first visit. But I did find another um, oncologist, medical oncologist, who is phenomenal. And so that it makes all of the difference. And again, you have to advocate for yourself. Even if they're good for someone else, they just may not be good for you. You have to make sure that it's a fit for you.
That's absolutely true. I've had a doctor that was recommended to me, and after a few visits, I was like, nope, I gotta find somebody else.
Right.
And when you do that, you end up with the person that you're supposed to be with. I Let me
Absolutely.
tell you, I had a friend last week that went to the emergency room. I'm not gonna mention the hospital, but when I tell you, she was like, we're not staying here. They were like, you need to stay. She was like, nope. She called an Uber to go to another hospital.
Yeah.
And when I tell you that second hospital gave her 5-star treatment, I mean, it was just a totally different situation. So we cannot be afraid, even and I think it because of the medical profession and a lot of us not understanding the jargon or not understanding the processes, we feel like that we are at the mercy of, these people. But look, we have choices.
We have
We have
choices. We
choices.
absolutely do.
And
Yes.
we definitely have to advocate for ourselves when it comes to healthcare because, especially as Black women,
Right.
we're going to have to change those stats.
Absolutely. And again, I cannot stress how important, if you think something is wrong, if you feel funny, go to the doctor, especially if you have health care. Don't pay for health care every month and not go to the doctor. Go to the
Listen,
doctor and make sure everything is going well. Go for your annual visits. If you cough too long, go to the doctor. These are things that you have to just be in tune with your body and know.
yes.
Yesterday, last night I was really, really sick.
Hmm.
I had a reaction to the infusion. I felt like I had the worst flu in the world.
Wow.
But it was a reaction. By the time I woke up this morning, it was over. I took some medicine last night, but by the time I woke up this morning, it was over. But if I were not better this morning, guess where I would have been today?
Yes.
You
Yes.
have, and then I did call my one of my best friends who is a physician assistant or nurse practitioner. Sorry, Tanya, nurse practitioner, and I talked with her, or she called me, and so she told me, she said, yes, it's just a reaction, a side effect from the injection, from the infusion, so you'll be fine. But you have to know your body.
Yeah. And don't ignore it.
Right.
Don't ignore it. Yeah. And I have another doctor's appointment that I need to reschedule. So,
Please
I'm just
do.
like, I'm going to reschedule it.
Now that I know I'm going to stay on you.
Yes, yes. I mean, it was, it's a usual appointment, but I missed it, so I got to
Right.
reschedule it. So I will reschedule it for next month. But that point that you just brought up, we pay a premium for
Mhm.
medical care and then don't want to use it.
Right.
You said something right there.
Hmm.
You really did. As a matter of fact, I told my husband, I'm like, when are you taking vacation? Because I got to schedule your doctor's appointment. Why do you think so many of us um is it a mistrust of the medical profession? Is it just, we think our lives are so busy? Like, why don't we take on the responsibility of going to the doctor like we should?
I
What do
think
you
it's a
think?
mix. I think it's a mix of not trusting the medical professions because of things that happened in the past, especially with people of color, and also um, people being so busy. I can't
Mhm.
take off. I don't have the time to go to the doctor. The doctor isn't open on Saturdays or after hours. Your health comes first.
Take
Your
off
health.
because look, they're gonna find somebody else to do that job if you're not here to
Right.
do it.
If God forbid, if you were to pass away, they would have someone interviewing for your job probably before your obituary is printed.
Printed.
So just take care of yourself. Take care of your body. The
Yeah.
organization that I'm a part of, Every Color Matters,
Okay.
is an organization that promotes and brings awareness to all types of cancer. And the campaign that we have is Don't Wait. So don't
Okay.
wait until it's unbearable. Don't wait, for months and months. If you see something, you get a sore and the sore doesn't heal
Doesn't
right
heal.
away.
Mhm.
Don't wait. Whatever it is, don't wait. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be with medical issues. If there are things that you want to do, goals that you've set, don't wait.
Oh,
Go
don't
after
wait.
it and do it. But
Yes.
I do want to say, and for Every Color Matters, Barney, if you're still on,
He is.
put in the chat, our goal, what we need at this moment. But yeah,
Yeah.
so we have a fundraiser. We didn't have our annual walk, but
Okay.
we are having a fundraiser to raise $5,000 in the 5 weeks of October. So
Okay.
that is something that we are doing, and we also in June, I think it's June, we have our annual gala and silent auction. It was really, really good this year. We had it at the Delta Flight Museum.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, if you saw the picture of me in the pink gown on
Yes.
as my that was that gala. So
Okay. Okay.
yes.
Yes, you will fly. Well, you've given such great advice. Just to like recap, just making sure that we listen to our bodies, making sure those annual appointments that we go to all of them and get our checkups and ask for tests and be like, hey, something is not quite right, and test me, test me, test me until we figure out
Absolutely.
what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, that happened to one of my coworkers also, that she kept going to the doctor and she was like, something's not quite right. And sure enough, she had a rare form of cancer that they finally found. She's doing well. She's doing well now.
Well, good.
So, but
That
that
is
was
a
the same
blessing.
thing of just advocating for yourself. And don't be afraid to change doctors if you are not comfortable, or change hospitals um if you don't think that they are serving you to the fullest. I think that's one of the things that we may not always do, except for us. Sherry, what month were you born in? Because I'm a August baby.
September. September.
Okay, we're gonna
Yes.
speak up for ourselves.
Absolutely. And I also want to say, if there are any survivors or caregivers of survivors, or even our pink angels, and you want to share your story, I'm working on a project, and I would like
Awesome.
to have about 15 women to share their stories. So follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or contact Atanya, and she'll get the information to me so
I
that
sure will.
we can share our stories.
Share your story. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you have a travel agency. Let's talk about that, because I asked you earlier. I'm gonna tell people what you said. So I said, Sherry, where have you been lately? And she said, well, only Cuba this year. And I was like, there's people on here that haven't been out of the country ever. And you're like, only Cuba. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I forgot. I was in the Bahamas.
I
So
do
tell
have
me.
I do have a travel agency, TVIC Travel. I have a business page. A lot of times people will just inbox me on my regular page, but
Mhm.
I enjoy planning travel for others, group travel, Caribbean travel, international trips. So I'm in the process of planning a Greece trip for a group, and
Okay.
I've actually been asked by someone else to plan a Greece trip. And so whether it's stateside, whether it's international, whether it's a cruise, ask me, and I can help you. It's TVIC Travel.
Okay, that is awesome. So for all of us that love to travel, and now that we know what to do with COVID, we know how to keep it from spreading, things like that. We need to get back out there and see the world, see the world.
Yes.
Sherry, thank you so much. And I want to ask you, like, after it's over, go back on the page and put your link, your travel agency link in there, so
Okay.
anybody that wants to take you up on that. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to share your life, share your life, because it takes courage to do that, because you could have just gone through this with your family and going about your life and kept it moving. But you wanted to make sure, and I told you, like when I sent the email, I said our conversation is going to save lives. And I
Absolutely.
honestly believe that because I have said it.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity to share. Anytime I get an opportunity and I'm able to share, I welcome it. So if anyone out there needs me to speak for anything or come and speak, or if you just need some advice yourself or just someone to
yeah,
talk to, reach out and let's connect.
absolutely. And before your gala, make sure you remind me so you can come back on the platform and everything, and tell people about it and how we can get tickets and all that jazz and look pretty
Okay.
in pink.
I definitely will.
All right. You have a wonderful evening, and go Rattlers.
You see the nails, you see the
I
nails.
see them. I'm so jealous. I see them. You are ready.
Now let me, no, I'm not ready because I still haven't packed. So
Go get all those Amazon packages and rip them open and throw them in the suitcase.
nope, 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 nope. We're going with what we have. We're going with what we
All
have.
right.
We may have a little repeat going on, but hey, it is
Nobody
what
will
it
know.
is.
It is what it is. Enjoy the weekend. Tell
Thank you.
everyone
Thank you
that I
so much,
said
Tanya, for
I
having
love
me
them,
on.
and yeah. And hopefully next year I can join in the festivities. Next year I'm going as the commissioner of Clayton County.
All right, absolutely.
You have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
You do the same. Thank you all for joining in.
Yes. Listen, everyone, I am so, so, so grateful for Sherrie coming on with us tonight. Go to the doctor. We are paying for it every month. Okay. So let's go to the doctor. If you're not happy with your doctor, find one that you're comfortable with. Women and men, those regular checkups that we need to go do, let's go get them done. And we have to take care of ourselves. Our lives cannot be too busy to take care of ourselves. It can't be, because, we only have one. All right. So I want to thank you all for joining me tonight for community conversation. But hey, go to A Gene Funny Community Conversation and join my group. All right. Make sure you join the group, and I will be back next Wednesday. And if something comes up before then, I'll hop on then. And for my Clayton County residents, please go out and vote for that referendum that is on the ballot. We need all yeses, yes, 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 for those 4 questions. And let's do everything we have to do to make it a great life, a great community. And I am Tanya Jean Funny, your audacious advocate and candidate for Commissioner, Clayton County District 3. And I use my love of learning and passion for community engagement to empower families. I will see you all next Wednesday. Good night.